The Padres just robbed the MLB right there. That man, pay him his money. Don't know if that reference is too dated or not. I'll tell you what is relevant and not dated. It's Jackson Merrill and his contract with the San Diego Padres. Let's talk about the highway robbery the San Diego Padres just got away with. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you for tuning in. That guy right there is now a San Diego Padre for the long-term future. Jackson Merrill is his name, and he is $135 million richer. 9 years, $135 million extended onto his contract. Let's talk about, though, why that is like the best contract in baseball right now, potentially. I think robbery, highway robbery. I don't even know what level. This is a heist of Ocean's 11's proportions that the Padres have gotten away with here in an offseason where ownership said crazy things like that they wanted to potentially spend less money and maybe part ways with some big-time contracts for them to find a way to convince Jackson Merrill to sign up for this extension to his contract based off of the year that he had last year and the fact that all baseball people that we can find and or identify in the universe seem to think that Jackson Merrill is only going to get better. For him to add 9 years, 135 is fantastic for the Padres. You look at the other contracts that the Padres have right now, and this locks up Xander, Cronenworth, Manny, Fernando, and Merrill all into the 2030s. What does that do for me now, right now? Nothing. Some of that will be a very old Manny Machado. Xander probably won't be worth it at that time. There will be different permutations. You see it with, how many times did Tom Brady refresh everything that was around him? Probably Fernando, and now maybe Jackson will be here for a long period of the core group. Other permutations. So I get that, let's not do Padres Digest 8 years from now content right now. Let's talk the here and now. What does that do for me in the here and now? It takes such a burden off of you, because I will show you the stats. You tell me anything about these stats say bargain rate player that you don't have to pay a ton for. Huh? That guy is Jackson Merrill is, by all accounts, one of already the best baseball players around. He was the second up in the Rookie of the Year, and that's funny, haha. It happens, haha. But if you look at these numbers and you extrapolate that this guy does something in the high 200s, if he hits 295 to 305, somewhere, if that's his range, give him 20-ish home runs a year, give him the plus defensively he has, give him all of these things. If that guy got to a full-on contract year at age 23 to 25, somewhere in, depending on the arbitration and franchising and all that, I can't even imagine what that would be worth in today's economy, let alone the economy of 3 years from now when this could be happening. So to get a guy to dial in and say, hey, yes, I want to be a San Diego Padre and do things like hitting this kind of a home run against Cleveland, the Guardians, way gone there. If we want to lock this guy up, you could have talked me into any number. But instead, we get a guy now who, for the entirety of his 20s, is going to be a San Diego Padre, not have to worry about contracting. I think maybe even puts a little bit more pressure. This could be a secondary effect of it, but I think maybe this puts a little bit more pressure on Xander specifically to kind of perform up to his contract, given that it somewhat reequates who has truly good value. Not that that's a whole other thing. And make sure you hit that subscribe button because we have videos talking about what it's going to take to offset or dish Xander potentially this season, and why I think that there are signs that the Padres should and can do that to fill out the rest of the pitching arms that they need. But having him locked in at this cheap for this long is fantastic in every sense of the word, because this is a guy like he's only going to get better, but also I think has a potential to be a guy that is like face of the team, maybe voice of the team to be face of the team. Like, he's young, he's identifiable, he speaks better English than Fernando Tatis, and not that Fernando is shying away from anything, but I think that Jackson seems to be a guy who can be a brand and a guy who can grow into his role as being one of the slick, cool, fun young players on a West Coast team that has a bunch of swag, that if you don't want to be a Dodgers fan, you're welcome to like Jackson Merrill. Or in the way that honestly a lot of people consume baseball nowadays is just via this broken up MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty vibes of you just like guys for liking guys because you like their swing, you like their vibes or whatever. I think that Merrill represents not just on-field value, but off-field value that he brings to the Padres. And that's really hard to project out and measure, but I'm willing to bet, my journalistic credibility and my integrity and understanding of the economics in the game of baseball, that most likely in 9 years' time, Jackson Merrill will have brought pretty close to, if not well beyond, $135 million in value to the economy in and around the San Diego Padres. So I think that when you combine the fact that you get the best of both worlds, he's going to bring in money and economy, and he gets to be here forever, and he's really, really good at baseball, and he's young. That's where I just come back to the fundamental excitement of the day, which is, gang, we got one here. We got a dub. This is a contract that any team in baseball would absolutely jump on without a moment's notice. They would say, no, yep, deal, done, if they were called up and offered Jackson Merrill for this kind of money for these kind of years with the way that he is playing right now. And the way that he played all of last season, and the way that he will be playing for the next now 9+ years in Friar, Brown, and Gold. Let me know, though, what you think. Drop a comment below. Did you think that they should have paid less for him? Do you think that he's going to... Do we see a regression coming, that he got his money, now he doesn't care? Do you think he's going to be 10 times this value? Do you think that he gets traded now with this value? Maybe that's happening in your brain. I want to hear from you, though. Drop it in the comment section below. And like I said, make sure you please hit the subscribe button. It's good for me as a podcaster. It's good for you as a fan. And it's good for every Padre person everywhere to put those kinds of good vibes out into the universe. Until then, we will talk to you soon, sports fans.